Hello. Today we are painting the PYS reference. So this is what we will be painting today. But since this is just a background, I also want to add some power lines and some birds on this. So I will try to recreate the same on a academy paper, and this is by Bao Hong, and I bought it from All About Art International website. So we'll get started on this one. Bear with me 1 minute while I grab paper towel. One moment. So I'll leave the reference on the side so that we all know what we are painting. And there are two ways I want to approach this. This will be a short live. The way I want to approach this is, one, I want to do it with layered paints. This is by Supervision Art, and these are my primaries. So here I will be using cobalt blue and alizarin crimson and a little bit of, I think this is either pyro red or I forget the pigment. This is like a bright red. I just forget the pigment right now. So let's get started. So we're going to do wet on wet. So let me mix the pigment first. So we need 3 shades here. This is a little bit on the bluish side, and this is the reds, and this is the transparent orange. So I'm going to mix these shades right now. So here's my cobalt blue. Let me just clean this up so that you can see what I'm mixing. So here I'm going to go in with cobalt blue, add a little bit of crimson, and this is my first shade. I'm going to swatch it here. So this is going to be our first color that we're going to use. The next one that I'm going to go in is, we'll work wet on wet, so we're going to drop paint in. So this is going to be my second shade, and it's directly alizarin crimson for the pink tone. Then I'm going to go in for a transition into a bright red, and that will be this shade. And finally I will add a little bit of Indian yellow. If you don't have Indian yellow, you can take transparent orange, you can take any gamboge, any color to get this peachy shade. And here is the final 4 colors that I will be using. Hi. Thank you for joining, and I'm glad you're here with me as I paint and keep me company. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to address them. So we're going to go wet on wet. So I'm going to wet my entire sheet. It's been very rainy here in the Bay Area, and today there has been sun after so long that I really felt like painting online, and I wanted to take advantage of the sun today. Just felt so bright and beautiful. Now when I wet my paper, I make sure that there is no puddles forming. If there are any, just go about lifting it. Make sure you have no paint on your brush before you wipe those puddles off. I am not a portrait artist, but thank you for the request. I will try. Maybe someday. So since this mixture was a little less than what I would need, I'm going to mix a little more. But since we understand how we mixed it, it's not going to be difficult. So here we are. I'm going to start, and here's my reference. I'm going to pull that up again so that we don't mess it up. So here, I'm going to start here and then add a little bit of red and then here. So let's just get started. Watercolor dries lighter than what it seems when it's wet. So don't worry much when you feel like it's too light. So once I have this in, I'm going to wipe my brush completely of the paint and then go in with the alizarin crimson. So you see I'm taking very sparingly and it's very diluted, but I'm going to take the excess water out of my brush so that it doesn't bloom here. We're going to add it. Now as we transition down, it is more on the red side. So I'm going to add my scarlet red, or I think this is a pyrrole red, but I'm going to mix that to my crimson so that there's a smooth transition and there is no muddy mixture. And then go back here and then again make sure you don't have too much moisture in your brush when you're going into paint, because that will change the consistency of your water and pigment on the paper, and that will cause you to have blooms and you don't want that. Now I'm taking the Indian yellow, mixing it with my current mix, and then finishing up the base. And that's my background. I will wait for it to dry, or else I'll mute you guys and then just quickly dry this background. Bear with me for a The paper is completely dried up, so now I'm drawing power lines here. So we're going to mix a darker shade. So I'm going to mix burnt sienna and the same thing to get a darker color. This allows the painting to stay cohesive as well. Now this bloom happened because the paper isn't dried completely, but doesn't matter. We can make do with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly lift off and then dry it again. Best thing would have been that if I would have waited, but since I was a bit impatient, have to pay the price of being impatient. I'm mixing a little bit of Payne's Grey there. I'm taking off all the excess water and then I'm going to paint it again. Let me just mix it once again so I get a good consistency. And that's it, and then I will use my number 1 brush or a rigger brush. I can't seem to find it at this point in time. I have a number 6 brush, so I'm going to use that and then create those lines. Since this brush has a very good tip, I don't have to worry as much. Just going to go in. The reason why I use rigger brush because it gives you those broken lines and the dry brushing effect for the power lines, and which makes it look very natural. So it'll be a single stroke line. So don't worry if you have broken lines, it doesn't matter. That's it. And then I'm going to deepen these shades here. Like a silhouette. So yeah. And then we can draw a bird probably sitting here. And then a few birds in the sky. So for the birds, I'll just flick my brush. If I had to do it again, I'd probably not make this mistake of going in too early on the paper. It kind of did ruin a bit of mood here, but otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Do you have any questions for me, or are you just keeping me company? Yeah, that's it for today. I'll probably come back some other day next week to paint another one. And in the meanwhile, if you want to paint along with me, I have a challenge going on which is called Blank to Beautiful. And it's completely free. It's a 5-day challenge where we paint this landscape. We paint this landscape together. So if you're interested in joining, let me know. I can share more details. And there is the playlist is live on my channel, so you can go browse through it and join us. And there are some good giveaways as well. So if you finish the painting before the Feb 22nd and share it on the Facebook group, you are eligible for the giveaway as well. So yeah, please do consider joining in. And yeah, if this interests you, I'd be happy to, have you being part of the challenge. So yeah, see you around. Thank you.